Hey everyone, this is JT with the solution to my crazy rectangles puzzle. I hope you had fun trying to solve it, and congratulations to the person who was able to solve it. This one, I'm not going to lie, is a bit hectic and a little bit tedious. There's a lot going on here, and one mistake anywhere on it, you would have been off on the private key and not got the solution. So congratulations. Whoever solved this must have just kept with it a lot, so good job. Alright, let's get into the solution. So the first thing we notice is probably just all these rectangles. There's a lot of black ones and then green ones and red ones. If we count the number of green and red rectangles, we get 64. So that's a strong indicator that the solution is a private key, which it is. And each of those squares corresponds to one digit in the private key. Next thing we notice is these arrows around the edge, kind of giving us directions. So directionality is going to be important in this puzzle. We don't have a starting or end point, so you basically just have to guess where to start. My idea was that if you start in the wrong place and you try to follow the arrows, you won't really get anywhere. So you'll give up and then try something else, eventually hopefully getting to a spot that works. The correct place to start in this was in the upper left-hand corner with the green square, and then the arrow in the upper left as well. And so the arrows go counterclockwise, so you follow this top row, left to right, and then you go down this right side, across the bottom, and up the left side. So that's the order of the arrows. You start with the green square, and then you just follow what the next arrow says. So you start with this green one. This arrow basically says go down and right. Well, the next one's this red square here. The colors alternate, so basically once you do this a few times, you'll notice that the colors are alternating. So for example, then we go right to this green square, down and right to this small red square, down and right again to this larger green square, right 3 times, so then to this red square, then to this green square, then to this red square. So if we just continue through this entire pattern, they'll alternate every time, and that's just kind of helping you find the next one. If there's 2 choices and one's the same color, well, you know not to go to that one because it always alternates. That was at least the idea, but in hindsight, maybe it just made it more confusing. Well, oh well. So, alright, so with that said, the digit of the private key that each square corresponds to is the number of white squares within the rectangle. And this is why this puzzle can be tedious, because for each one of these, we have to count the number of white spaces. So for example, this first one, count the white spaces. We have 1 for this one here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for the remaining. So this first one has 14 white spaces, which corresponds to an E. And let's move this here. Bring up this. So here's the key. Basically, if there's 0 white spaces, that's a 0 in the private key. 1 through 9 and 1 through 9. When we hit 10 white spaces, that becomes an A, and then B, C, D, E, and F has 15 white spaces. And this is a hexadecimal private key, so we use digits 0 through F. So the first step of this puzzle was just counting the number of white spaces in each square, and this is very prone to mistakes, so you might have to go back and double check a few, especially the ones with more white spaces with a lot of overlaps. But anyway, here's the final solution for the number of white spaces in each square. So we just went through, counted everything. Notice the ones that are filled in with black are 0 because there is no white space in them. We have a couple easy ones like this 2 here, but quite a few complicated ones, such as this, where the overlaps do make it complicated, but this is why it took someone 6 months to solve this. So I think most people probably just gave up on this, which is fine. I'm not expecting everyone to spend hours on one of these. But anyway, so those are the count for the white spaces. Next part was finding the correct path through them all using these arrows, and the solution to that is here. Start up with E, kind of down right to this B, then to F, then to 3, then to E, to 6. This purple path will work its way through every single one of those squares. And then we just take the digits in that order for the private key. So the full private key, it starts with EBF3E, which here we have EBF3E as the first 5 of that private key. The full solution is here, which I also post in the description of the video. But once we get that private key, copy it, paste it into my Ether wallet, and there's that public address that has nothing in it now because, well, let's refresh that. Yeah, it has nothing in it now because it was solved. Congratulations again to the person who was able to solve this, and good luck solving the puzzles that have yet to be solved.